welcome back to Aftermath Part 2 of Episode 29. These guys have leveled up after spending the night at Felix' place, so everyone I think has now reached level 10. Potentially except Coghammer, I'm not quite sure.
Oh yeah.
But, you guys find yourselves awaking in the morning. More notably, Felix, you find yourself awoken in the morning to the sound of a mental alarm. One that you are very familiar with, which is essentially a doorbell, using the alarm spell.
Alright, get up out of bed, kind of like stretch a bit, and go to, open the door.
Okay, you see as you walk past them, you see a number of very passed out looking of your fellows.
I'm just on Sauriv's stomach, spread eagle.
Yeah. You...
So his wife is the only woman for him, but I guess that he never ruled out man's then.
Yes.
Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Oh, I think my sound was cutting out.
Nice.
What's happening?
No.
We're starting. You're asleep.
Starting, and Felix
I'm
is...
not asleep.
Felix has been awoken, but the rest of you
Ah.
would still be sort of passed out. Felix, you head down the stairs to the front door and open it up. You see the white woman, Alyssa, looking somewhat curiously at the doorbell as she presses it again, and you hear this ringing sound inside your head. And it's, oh, hi. Can I come in?
Internal screaming echoes through Felix's head. And then he says, I'm sorry, who are you? I don't happen to recall you.
She sort of half frowns at you. I hired you?
Oh, right. Sorry. Forgive me. Wrong person. I'm having night terrors. Come on. Come in. Sorry. I just opened the door. It's like, God damn it. Felix, you got one job.
Oh, I'm sorry. She sort of looks a bit unsure of herself and comes in.
Sorry. The rest of the group's upstairs. After our mission... I don't know if celebrate is the right word. Simply drinking to be able to sleep enough might be a bit more of a correct phrase.
Yes, I tried getting your attention on your sort of very stumbled and asleep way back here. I spotted you, but I don't think you noticed. You were very drunk.
I don't know if drunk is the word to describe me, but the rest of the group, yes.
Yes. Are they awake?
No.
Ah, very well. I wouldn't want to disturb them. Kind of looks over and I guess would see
Well,
sort
I
of
was getting ready.
people sprawled about.
Well, I was getting ready to make breakfast, so they'll be stirring soon enough.
Oh. Right.
Have you eaten?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you.
Understood.
I suppose I'll wait for them to wake.
Well, make yourself comfortable. If you want anything, some tea, some water, anything to drink, just let me know and I'll be happy to help you.
No, I'm fine, thanks. She sort of
Excellent.
sits down awkwardly on a chair, not quite sure what to do with herself, and sort of waits, watches.
Felix is just gonna go cook breakfast.
Okay, you start.
Hash browns and eggs and a bit of sausage.
Nice. So you start making breakfast.
Yeah.
The rest of you begin to dream nicely of food.
I guess I kind of wake up relatively early.
Sure. Yeah, you didn't drink
Didn't
much. So
drink that much.
eventually you'll wake up, a bit of a headache, but nothing major.
Yeah. I'll walk downstairs. Morning. Oh,
Good morning, Akane.
hi. just go sit down somewhere, I guess.
I believe Felix is making breakfast.
Yeah, I can smell it. Right.
Wonderful.
We're gonna start walking down, see a complete stranger, and do it 1080, and just go back up.
This is big and
I'm
Actually,
still
that's
reading.
upstairs. All of the living area is upstairs. Downstairs is Felix's shop.
Yeah. Felix is a locksmith. His locksmithing shop is downstairs. I guess you sort of like peek your head around the corner of a door and just like, nope, the fuck out. She doesn't seem to have noticed you.
I'm gonna cast this guy's self on me.
Oh god.
Okay. What do you choose to look like?
Still a dwarf, like
Mhm.
young.
Okay.
Yeah, basically, pretty much what a Coghammer would have looked like when he was real young.
Okay, so like in his I guess for a dwarf is like mid-50s or something.
Yeah,
Neat.
like less baldness on top of his head.
Yeah, okay.
back in the
Full-
heyday.
Full dark brown color instead of like full grey and white.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, you create the visage of a young, less destroyed dwarf.
Morning.
Morning,
Morning.
Cogsworth. What are you doing?
Cogsworth?
Well, I noticed we had a visitor.
Yes, she's the one that hired us to do the job.
Oh?
Good morning,
Yes,
Cogsworth. She says like curiously.
Coghammer.
Yeah,
Coghammer.
Coghammer.
Cause he wears armor made of cogs and he wields a hammer.
I see.
As he does the Felix kind of like raises an eyebrow, looks over to Coghammer, just kind of looks confused, and then say, "I mean, that's what I jokingly call him. His real name's Cogsworth."
Ah, okay. I see.
Well, he kind of joined us in the adventure and helped us out a bit. You like
Wonderful.
hash browns, Cogsworth?
Sure.
Alright. I might be a bit low on ketchup, so I might need to run and get that soon. Or perhaps would you mind running and grabbing me some ketchup, Cogsworth?
I'm good.
Alright.
Yeah,
Sweet.
we're calling him Cogsworth now.
You keep saying Cogsworth.
That's
Yeah, that's the
intentional.
point.
Okay,
Because when I
so
said
you got
Coghammer,
right.
Yeah, you see
when I
how it-
said Coghammer, he was like, eh, and I was
No,
like,
no, he
oh.
was like, yeah, when you mentioned the whole cogs on his armor.
Close enough. There has been
Still,
a
like,
miscommunication.
maybe he wants to hide that. Let's just keep calling him Cogsworth.
There has been a miscommunication. I love it. It's great.
Yeah, so, back to,
Sure.
cooking for Felix.
Okay. Would the other two? Would you guys be raised, awoken at all by the smell of breakfast?
Sauriv would.
Okay.
Probably
Sauriv,
not. I'm gonna fall off Sauriv.
there's a Pandal just sort of sprawled across you.
I'm going to pick him up, and I'm just gonna get out of the bed, and I'm gonna drop him on the bed again.
Sure.
Pretty sure we're on a sofa, dude. I don't think
Oh,
we're
the sofa
getting there.
rather.
I sort of
Yeah.
assumed you guys were more or less just sprawled on the floor, but yeah, so it
I mean,
works.
yeah, well, that.
So,
Either or, we're fucking fish, doesn't matter.
Yeah, we will absolutely have it.
Pandal, you feel yourself bounce off of something, bounce awake, and then suddenly thunk onto the floor.
Oh, hangovers like this make you feel 40 years younger. Oh my god, Coghammer, what happened to you? Look at Sauriv. Does Sauriv also look 40 years younger?
No.
Does Felix look 40 years younger?
No.
Felix looks as good as ever.
I just made sure to. Well, I know it's bad company, so I made sure to look presentable.
Okay, I thought for a second I'd fallen through some kind of ruby-based wormhole.
I'm
or
pretty
something?
sure
I
if
don't know.
Felix would look 40 years younger, he wouldn't have been born.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
he's not that
Just
old.
a little embryo Felix is floating there making
Sauriv would be the
breakfast.
same, yeah.
Just like Akane.
I think
Wow.
everyone would be.
Except
I'm
Actually,
80,
Coghammer
fuck
would.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the trio over here would completely vanish.
Yeah.
Old people.
Ooh. Ooh. I just realised sphinxes can make people 20. Anyway.
Oh my god.
Oh god, I would literally be fucking 1 year old then.
Yep.
Go go gaga.
Go gaga fireball storms.
It's okay.
Wait, Kane's 41?
No, 21.
24.
Oh.
It's okay. I don't use book stuff, so you don't have to worry with that.
Sounds like that makes you 21 years young.
Just the awful shit that I create, because I'm bad at this. So, you...
Also, hi, Nodshakes. How?
Oh.
Hey,
Oh,
Pandal.
boy.
It's good to see you again.
Yeah, I really didn't think we would live. That actual god that is there.
I'm sorry, what?
So you know how you were like, oh, go find, you know, the cult of like the last god. That's a whole thing. That's probably not real, but I'll pay you some money for it anyway.
Yes?
Oh yeah, I have a throbbing headache now, and also we almost died, and there was a blue man, and he's definitely dead.
As you mentioned, like the blue man being definitely dead, her face just stops and... Go back. Start again.
I think
Slow
you
down.
mentioned your name, Alyssa.
Oh yeah, he was also like, oh, Alyssa's cool, and then died. It was sort of
I
stressful. I
said
don't
to
really.
listen my regards. I'm pretty sure.
I'm sort of slightly stressed. Sauriv was also dying, and I had priorities.
Those...
I'm fine.
Where you are now?
What were his exact words?
Send Alyssa my
was-
regards.
God's right.
Fuck!
Yes.
Yeah, I believe so.
I did my best to help get him out of there, but
Was that
it wasn't enough.
shouting fuck?
Yes. Sort of frustrated. Like,
Yes.
weirdly sort of like dainty, like, but frustrated. Super,
Oh,
like,
fuck.
effectively.
Oh yes, quite.
But it's like a very brief break in her composure, and then suddenly it's back.
Are you okay?
I will be fine.
Unlike him, obviously.
Thank you, Pandal.
Pandal.
I'm gonna just elbow Pandal.
Ow,
Wait hard.
I bruised there.
I did what I could to get him out of there, but it wasn't enough.
I understand if he... Wonderful. I don't know how he would have even found you.
Who was that guy?
Do you know who
You,
was?
you knew him, I guess?
Yes. He is like I am. We have been...
A cloud beast? Your cloud.
He's a water beast.
Ah,
He, myself, and two others.
he, myself, and I.
Stop yourself. Him, me, essentially the Black Woman, and the Red Man have been working together for a while, piecing together bits about what happened. None of us are particularly older than 1,000 or 2 years, and we've been working on trying to find out what happened to the gods. The
Was it at the mention of 1,000 or 2 years? I'm going to look over at Coghammer again.
Mhm.
The problem is, well,
If you
other
react to being
than
1,000 years old.
apparently, and she kind of gestures towards Pandal, if what you say is true, then they're definitely real. And more to the point, so is the last one. The last god. That's what they called him.
I'm pretty sure he's real, yeah.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
he's a dick. I will kill him. I don't like him at all.
You're going to get pasted just like Blue Boy. That's not going to go well.
I'm afraid, Sauriv, it's really not that easy.
Well, how do we make it easy?
I don't know. The last time it happened, she sort of gestures at latrine. Gestures kind of around, pretty much, I guess. Coria existed before, but I'm sure you've seen there were others like Coria. Trains, machines of war, they now lie in ruin, dotting the landscape. These are what we use to defeat the gods. We don't know how they won a war against beings of that power, but they did.
Coghammer looks extremely interested all of a sudden.
It is a long story, but there is much to tell. But I don't think I'm particularly the most qualified to tell it. Although, I know someone who might be. But I believe there's breakfast first, and some money to be handed out.
Yeah, I would say so.
Very well. Jack and Pandal, do you know where they were?
Jack and Sarah.
I have no idea
Sarah,
what Pandal
sorry.
is. Sarah's like buggered off.
That means that they're not part of the mission or something anymore, right?
Yeah, I guess.
I think
We
that's
sort
how
of
this
like
I mean-
works.
escaped. And Jack had a bit of a moment.
I mean, they were both with us until the end.
Very well. Then I will find them and pay them separately.
I will find them. And I will pay them.
In that case,
Got a little buddy back there. He helped us as much as those two did.
Coghammer?
Yeah.
Cogsworth? Something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Very well. And she pulls out a number of
Why do you
sacks
look so
of
different?
coin.
So
Because
it's not just me.
he's disguised himself, Sauriv.
Wait, you can do
True
that?
side.
What?
You have
Yeah.
my mask. Give me my
remember
mask
it.
back.
Yeah, I remember you could look through magic guys.
You just see him reach for his face, and nothing happens, then Mosk appears out of nowhere.
Yeah, hand over.
Wait, what?
Okay.
Cheers. Did you try? Did you glitter bomb again? It's fun.
No, I'm sorry.
She hands,
I was kind of caught up in the moment.
essentially, Felix, do you know you're muted? She hands everyone... Oh, she'll take it and she'll go one by one around everyone and hand you all a bag of 50 platinum each, including Coghammer.
Yay!
Although she goes to Coghammer last, and she goes, so... You... what would her exact words be? Because exact wording is important with these people. Sorry. It would simply... Actually, no, she'll just hand it to you, and she sort of, this is for you. If what they say is true, then I'm sure they needed the help, old man.
I'm sorry for your friend, colleague.
Both, I suppose. Thank you. She's If those were the words he said, then he knew exactly what he was doing.
Any chance he had some way he could save himself, or did he just run and do the honourable thing?
Perhaps he might have stood a chance. I couldn't say. I know nothing of the situation. Perhaps he didn't. But he knew what he was getting into.
Fair enough.
Okay, is like Mac here, or is Mac like being accosted by real life?
I think you may get accosted.
God damn it.
I accidentally muted myself for a longer period of time. I am here.
Oh,
Yeah.
you are there. Okay, cool.
Dogger did remind you. I don't know if you heard though.
Felix.
So we get money?
Yes, 50 platinum.
Yeah, we.
She's
Flat
had
boy.
giving everyone 50 platinum as everyone's up.
So we got 100 platinum?
Yeah, in total.
We've got 50 to start, we're getting 50 now.
Yes,
Yes.
Ah, shit.
each get 50. Yes. She didn't give you any from the start because you weren't there. But she's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah, yeah, I know.
give you 50.
It's fine.
50 platinum and you've lived that fight. Don't complain.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose if you all wish to have breakfast, I would take you from this place. There's someone we must talk to.
I have an errand
She's
to
saying
run.
this as I'm just handing out plates to everyone with breakfast foods on them.
What is that errand, Pandal?
Well, I sort of bought a ring, and I really want to, like, have it, because, you know...
You can get that later. Put this in you.
I paid up front half the cost. You know how annoying that is to do?
How much
By
did
the
you
way-
pay up front?
By the way.
What? You cut out for a sec there.
Sorry, Tomchi said by the way and then didn't say anything.
Oh.
I was just gonna ask, did Felix put any vegetables on Sauriv's plate?
Oh no.
I assume not. Felix knows
I'm
better.
assuming no, because you've seen how that ends.
I mean, does he eat eggs?
He would eat eggs, yes.
I mean,
Is
it is
egg
natural
vegetable?
for I mean, it is natural for a predator to eat eggs, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I would
So
eat eggs.
the eggs
so-
are on there, the sausage are on there, and the hash browns are on there. However, Sauriv probably wouldn't know they are vegetables because they're shredded up things, and if you would ask Felix, they're like, so have you ever had bread before?
I think he has though.
Gonna look very suspicious.
It's
Yeah.
not vegetables. It is not vegetables.
He's actually
It
got
is
a
too
point.
starchy to be
Sauriv-
vegetables.
Sauriv wouldn't have a problem with bread, would he?
Yeah, no.
No,
I mean,
probably not.
Just
Yeah.
considering
I
the...
mean, I can
Okay.
give you this, and I like kind of pull out a ketchup bottle. I can give you out this blood flavoring if that makes you any more appetite to try it.
Blood flavoring?
Here, and I just like
it's
put a little bit of
actually worth
ketchup
it.
on the plate.
You're trying to get yourself killed? That's new.
Just dip just dip some of the hash browns in it and eat it. That's how most people like to eat the dish.
Gonna cast Presto, gonna make the ketchup actually taste like human blood.
If I see that, can I presto and make the ketchup taste like ketchup?
I mean...
Am I rolling a sleight of hand? To try
yes,
and-
if you want to, roll a sleight of hand against a passive.
Oh, can I? It's
No,
too late to
that's
say.
passive.
I shut up.
16?
16. Akane,
Can I-
what's your passive
Would I-
perception?
Should I roll?
My passive
Oh.
is
Is that
only
with- and it's
12 for,
visual?
for looking, I think.
12?
Okay.
Yeah.
Then no, you don't know that he's casting anything.
Oh.
Beautiful.
Should I roll because it's kind of against me?
Against your plate.
Or,
if you want to.
I mean,
It's against passive, I'd say.
but I'm a little bit suspicious. Okay, then yeah, I only have a 15. Damn it!
Fair. Just okay.
So close.
Mine's 20 now, I'm so excited.
You're not
Yeah, I
like
gave
on the
him a bit
lookout
of
for it.
I give him a bit of a dash of ketchup.
Okay.
You know, just dip yourself in that
Dip yourself.
I'm going to
dip
be
some
very
hash browns in.
suspicious, and I'm going to pick up the hash brown. I'm going to dip it.
No, it's hash browns, like the chopped up version, not like a hash brown.
Oh,
Do you
I think
guys
we
not
have
know the
s-
difference between hash browns and a hash
I
brown?
don't know what either of them are.
A hash
Okay,
brown is like
okay,
shredded
okay,
potatoes in
okay.
like a clump, and hashed browns is not really clump.
Yeah, it's like-
just there.
Just like how you shred carrots but with a potato and then like make a little cake out of it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
See, okay, this is the type of hash browns
Anyway,
This is the type of hash browns I'm talking about right here.
I think it's basically just one of them has been made into a thing.
Yeah, it's like loose hash brown. It's just
It's-
hash browns.
Yeah.
I
So
think
There's that in there.
we have a very different.
And I know
one.
there are also I know there's also this type as well. I
I
was
think-
more so going for the first instead of the second.
Yeah,
By
that's
the
the
way,
one I know.
Are there any
Second one. Okay. that's fine.
verbal components to presto?
I don't know.
I don't think so. I think it's just
Yes,
about-
verbal and somatic, but I rolled
Then it
high.
would be a 17 for her to notice.
Yes. My passive would be
Fucking
that.
hell. I'm trying to not get us killed. Why are you making this so fucking difficult?
I would also notice that too, because I have an 18 in my passive perception when it comes
can
to
I-
hearing.
Can I subtly cast presto? So no verbal or somatic components at all.
You're wasting a sorcery point And don't
Yes.
forget
On getting us killed
all
by
of your friends.
Sophie.
Yes,
murdered
you can.
by a raging barbarian.
Why did we let Akane stay at the party after she took our drink away with a fucking door?
Akane, yes, you can. You're not casting counterspell though, so it's not going to do anything.
Wait, she was gonna presto it back to ketchup flavor after
Yes, but
Pandal pressed.
it's effectively an ongoing effect.
Aw.
So you're not removing the magic. It's still there, so it'll taste like ketchup, but then has the blood flavor superimposed over the top of it.
Okay.
Oh, he's imposing another ketchup flavor over the blood flavor.
Yeah.
No. Okay, so the first presto completely changes the flavor, and then that one basically would mean that it would taste
It's
somewhat of
somewhere in
both.
between.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
you taste both.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Okay. I'm gonna put some hash brown in. I'm gonna get some ketchup on it, and I'm gonna
It tastes like sort of a hash brown that has sort of blood and yeah on it. Strange sauce.
Blood and yeah.
I mean, it's ketchup. You don't know what fuck ketchup tastes like. You've never had ketchup before.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know what it tastes like.
It's a strange blood flavored sauce, from what you can tell. That's like fake.
Just rebrand ketchup to just blood sauce.
I'm not so sure.
Really? Okay, that's...
Something about that tastes weird. I'm not gonna have the rest of that. I'm sorry. This is great though. Ah, nom nom nom. What a sausage.
I'm gonna look over to Akane.
Yeah, it's fair. You can tell.
Yeah.
What?
Make a typical Pandal put two and two together. Akane fucks with this a lot.
Yeah, no,
Like,
this is obvious.
yeah.
She's done this so many times.
I mean, I haven't. I
Give her a
haven't.
very disappointed, like, dad shake of the head. Like,
I've
I'm
never
very-
done it with Shuttlecast, so
No.
No,
Yeah, I
but
know,
you've done
but
it
it's
at
like-
least 3 other times without.
Yeah.
yeah, but you
it's
couldn't
obvious
see her
enough.
casting anything. So.
Nope,
Yeah,
but
no,
it's
but I feel lost as fuck because I haven't noticed you before. It's
so.
known later on, so.
So he was a fucking idiot, so he's not gonna question it, but
Yeah.
Pandal isn't. So
I mean, slightly less of an idiot.
ish. Yeah, I mean, relatively speaking.
Check the episode where we got. It was 100 platinum pieces. Yeah, but not up front. I think that was total. Right?
Yeah, no, it was 100 total, I think.
Yeah, total. It's 1,000 gold total. Okay, so you guys have your breakfast. Felix, it tastes much duller than you would expect. Everything doesn't taste as flavoursome as you would expect.
Wait, did he? Wait, he did sleep, right?
Yes, it's not.
Yeah, he
it's
did.
He didn't lose his soul.
No.
Thank God.
it's nothing crazy. It's just
Very, very slight.
Internal screaming.
It's just that everything doesn't quite taste as much as it used to.
Does it just taste more of like what's it called? You know how like the like taste in your mouth when you wake up? I forgot what that's called. Morning breath. Does it just taste slightly more like that?
Not really.
Can I-
It's more. It just kind of doesn't taste
Or
of
just doesn't
anything as
Can
much.
I
But
roll,
it's
like, a
still
perception to
there
see
and
if
it's still
anything-
nice.
To see if like he's like looking different or
Well, that would not be
like
perception.
if he shows something.
you're not-
to the
One,
thing.
that's
I'd
insight.
say-
2, you don't know.
Yeah, as far as
You've
we're
no-
concerned, everything's fine once we got rid
You
of the
have no
bug.
reason to suspect him, so no, that would be meta.
Okay.
He wasn't acting like shady when we were drinking, right? He was just
No,
drinking.
he was just drinking.
Yeah.
Because he's still got like pretty plastered with us, right? Like not so obviously yeah. To walk.
No,
his phone,
the alcohol
but-
tasted just the normal, so you wouldn't have noticed anything.
By this time tomorrow, he's gonna be sucking Akane's blood.
Yeah, I'm just gonna tell the rest of the guys about it, just completely, utterly, just like point blank, like, guys,
What?
I
What?
crave blood. I stuff tastes not the same.
Did you
We
just?
got
Why?
rid of the bow though. You'll be fine. Just don't worry about it.
I don't want to turn into a fucking vampire.
Hey,
Unless he gives
Yeah,
you a strange look.
Have you heard of anything about this group called the Lord of the Vale?
No.
Okay, Felix, if you give me 100, look, okay, I hate to extort you for this because it feels really shitty, but like it costs money. Do you want me to check and make sure you're definitely not a vampire? If you are, you won't be. Because whatever that is very odd, and I feel like Sauriv, drinking blood is sort of Sauriv's thing, and you don't seem very into it.
But I don't drink blood that much.
Mm,
Only when
Yeah,
I'm
exactly, but like...
Perhaps I should go and find that bow again. Maybe it's gonna give me some answers.
I mean, it's
Because
sort
it
of
seems like I'm
disappeared.
stuck with this bullshit, so I might as well try and get to the bottom of it.
I mean,
yeah, even if you do become a vampire, maybe we could find a cure. Maybe you won't mind so much.
yeah, but like I could
You
try
never know.
curing you right now if you would like.
I don't know at this
What?
point.
What do you need, Pandal?
I mean, I have the 100 gold of diamond dust. It's just expensive.
I don't know if
and
it's a
platinum.
curse or if it's something that I'm just gonna have to accept as part of my life now.
Bro, it's worth a shot. Akane's like, I'm just gonna go fucking smoke some diamond dust on him and cast Greater Restoration to try and
Okay.
remove his possibly vampirism.
So, there's some suddenly sand sprinkled all across your food as Pandal sort of runs up to you and essentially pocket sands you because he can't actually reach up to sprinkle it on you. He has to kind of just throw it up over you.
I'm gonna
Like
Greater
that.
Restoration as I pocket send him.
And yeah, you feel this sort of light sprinkling of
Like a flower
dust
girl.
that vanishes after a brief moment. You cast Greater Resto. One
I'm targeting
curse.
whatever the fuck his vampirism is to try
Yes.
and remove that.
Uh,
So I don't know the word vampirism. I just know the word vampire.
you
I don't know exactly what I'm going for, but I'm going for whatever's causing it. I don't know if I could do that, but
And
like, I'm
one of
concerned
the
for my
following
friends, so I'm doing it
effects.
anyway.
Okay, yeah, so sure.
Yeah,
cast it.
can...
You don't know if it
Oh.
worked. You've no idea.
I take another bite of my food.
Tastes like normal.
It tastes like it did before he casted that on me?
No. Tastes like normal.
No, tastes like normal?
They work.
Okay. I think everything's back to normal.
Hey, there
Yeah,
we
well,
go.
there you go.
He's not a
Well,
hey.
vampire. Very good.
No, for a second I was worried that would go somewhere, but it really. I'm glad that that wasn't a concern you had.
I'm sorry, but you put it on the worst person.
Well, I don't
What?
know. I didn't do anything. You picked up a bow, man. Don't. Listen, you're whatever. The weird bow's like wherever it is. There's got like there's now gonna be a sixth Lord of the Veil, and they have to deal with that. Who cares? Just a Lord in our eyes, Felix.
So, that strange... Yep, that happened.
Ah, don't worry, it was the whole thing.
And that's
Right.
it's a whole thing. Don't worry about it.
So should we, get going? You guys gonna finish eating?
How far away is the university? It's a decent distance, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little
That
ways.
carries over, I
Can't
think.
like nip over, nip back.
Takes sort of 20 minutes.
Hmm.
How long do I think the rest are going to take to eat? I'm pretty sure Sauriv polished off whatever he had already.
Yeah, I'm
but...
done.
Not that. They're, like, nearly done.
How long is your little excursion going to be?
I couldn't say. Probably not too long.
Cool. Okay. I have to get it when a certain person's on shift, so I'm really hoping it doesn't go into the evening.
If you want to go do something beforehand, I mean, you're welcome to. I'm
I'll
not
be
gonna
right
stop
back.
you.
I'm going to cast haste on myself so I can get that quicker.
Okay. You sprinting off after it?
Yeah, I'm going to sprint as fast as my little halfling legs can carry me.
Okay.
To,
It'll take you about 10 minutes to get there. Not to get
Hey,
there.
so
About
where-
5 minutes to get there.
Wait, where are you going? To
You
the
should-
shop?
to the magic shop.
university, yeah, magic shop.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna go buy his ring.
Gotta go get my ring because I'm like, I want it. I spent money on it. I don't want to like forget about it.
Okay. Yeah. You sprint over there.
Yeah.
You can just to skip over it. Yeah, you can essentially pick it up. She's there on
Yeah.
shift. She'll be like, "Oh, you actually came back. That's nice." And then gives you the ring.
I will float with her as blatantly as possible to get her to like me more because I
Roll a
probably-
charisma.
Oh hell yes! Is it flat? Oh no! All my expertise. Fuck you.
You're a fucking bard. Who cares?
Yeah.
Thank you, Lily.
God, I love Pandal so much.
Yeah. Okay. She seems to like you.
Even
Yeah,
more,
but you
or the
see-
same
Like,
amount?
like or like.
It's like hard to tell. In the like
Ah, she's
brief
playing hard to
encounter
get,
of
is
like, oh, I'm gonna flirt with you for like 30 seconds while I buy a rig and then sprint away at the speed of sound.
I'm not going to sprint away. I'm going to walk out real casually as soon as I'm around the corner and sprint back away.
Fair. Yeah. Okay, and then you sort of, well, actually, yeah, no, because it will still
I'm going to run back.
effectively
but
take 20 minutes because hates
Yeah.
is only for a minute, so
I'm going to get there slightly faster, but not much
Yeah,
faster.
it'll be about like
haste
nine-
myself because I've never done it.
be about 19 minutes to do the whole thing.
I don't understand the high that Sauriv gets. I'm like, holy shit.
Nice. So you
But you could have just asked me, and I would have happily just.
I mean, true, but
so
You-
you make your way back eventually. Okay. By this time, everyone else has finished eating, I suppose, probably.
Mm.
And
Yeah, I was finished before he's left. I'm probably finished in seconds. If it was offered. If not, I wouldn't ask for any.
waiting on guys. Ah, Pandal. Wonderful.
show off my new bling.
That's nice.
That's what I thought. Okay, where are we going?
Wonderful. I don't suppose you know it. It's a small town in Garazeth. She steps forward, and as she does so, there's this sort of wind begins to pick up around her. Not that any of you feel it, but this wind begins to sort of whip at her hair and the sort of long white robes that she wears. And she steps forward into the centre of the room. This blue circle just sort of flickers into life under her. Step into the circles, and you see another around you, around her, another set of 7 other blue circles appear.
I step into one.
Okay.
Yes.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Has it been like close to an hour already, or?
No, it's been like half that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just get in. Whatever.
Okay, you step on
Thing
one.
is.
So I assume everyone steps into them, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we head inside.
Cool. You sort of stand on the circle for a brief moment as everyone gets onto one, and then there's this just flash of light, and you find yourself in a very bright place. No shadows at all, like even on the inside of your eyelids. There's a startled clattering of wood against a sort of marble floor as you turn around. You realise you are inside a familiar-looking place to most of you. You're inside a library. Not a massive library.
Mm.
Oh!
Oh yeah, Garazeth.
And you see Volmer, the old man. Old, very, very old-looking sort of man. Sat behind
hello
a
again.
desk. And he sort of startles upwards and... Oh, hello there.
Hello.
Oh, wonderful. Oh,
I go with
listen.
Izo. Everything copacetic? What's the deal?
Oh, it's wonderful. I haven't seen her in so long. It's so good to finally talk to her. Thank you very much.
No worries, man.
But unfortunately, he sort of looks over at Alyssa. I assume you're not here to exchange pleasantries with an old fart like myself. She sort of looks at you guys and... Unfortunately not. I was wondering, Volmer, if you might tell these fine folk something of the gods that came in this realm once before. There's much they must know. Oh, yes, yes. Come with me. And you see him sort of slowly bend down and pick up the walking stick that he dropped and start hobbling away with a clack, clack, clack of a wooden stick on this marbled floor. And he begins to lead you guys off, if you follow, Alyssa does.
Yep.
Off in the familiar direction of a number of doors set into one wall by a bookshelf. You do see these bookcases across the place. Again, more for Coghammer than anyone, I suppose. You notice there are no shadows anywhere. There's no source of light either. everything has a very flat, sort of no depth kind of look to it. There is no shadow at all. There is constant, ever-present light in all places.
Am I still disguised?
Yeah, you are. There's no shadows playing across the faces, though. Everything, as I say, it looks completely flat. It's very strange. There's a little bit of shading at best, but there's no actual shadow. Even when you blink, you just see the inside of your eyelids as if someone's shining a light in your eyes when you close your eyes. You know that look? That's kind of what it looks like. The light is everywhere. And it doesn't appear to be just inside here as you look out the windows, because there are a number of large windows behind you in this sort of atrium to a large-ish library. You see a small, quaint-looking town in a perfectly flat landscape, nothing around there. You just see the town. Or a few houses, really. And they also. So it's outside as well. There's also just this no shadows anywhere. If you guys follow this old man, he leads you around around sort of the back of some of these large, huge, tall bookshelves. Eventually you reach one where there's, instead of a bookshelf, it's this wooden wall that's been set up with a number of doors set into it, each one in a different style. Some look ancient, some look like they were built yesterday. He takes you over to them. As you can see, I've worked tirelessly for far too long with Alessa here to uncover some of the truths behind this world.
Okay.
Sorry about that. These doors here lead to a number of events that we have either been able to reconstruct or found ways to visit. Small time loops, at best. He points to one that's a metal door with a single wheel in the middle. An indent as if to house a window, but no window in it. It has a wheel in the middle, kind of like you would expect on perhaps a submarine. Behind this one...
A sub what? Sorry? I don't know what the submarine is.
In character or out of character?
In character.
Both, it's Rick.
Fuck you.
I'm describing things out of character, don't be like
I
this.
know.
I'm also describing it for
Wish you'd laugh.
Jerry, because everyone else knows what I'm talking about, because you all seen it before.
Then walked past it.
Yes. Behind this door here is a small loop of time. You can see the events that led up to a certain one of the Grand Train's destructions. It appears in this loop. Although you can't stray far from the entrance, you will see that they appear to be fighting some being of immense size and immense power, and losing. We're not quite sure what this being is at best, but from what we can tell, it's one of the gods. We don't know who. He gestures to some of the others. Most of these have been somewhat unhelpful. We've been able to find the aftermath of much destruction. But what we have noticed is massive, massive changes in the world over a short period of time that came to us mostly through various... Oh, I've lost my words again. We have found these various loops in time. We've been able to create them and found huge changes in the way the world has been over a period of time. Perhaps only a decade or so, not long at all. Not entirely sure what caused them, but for one, the world you know was but a desert before you. And for nothing else. He kind of gestures to one of the bookshelves. We have been able to pick up that there were a number of these gods. We're not quite sure what happened when... we don't know the specifics, but we know of the names of Imfin, Hyana, Hijin, Iris, Haya, and Yana.
Can we get that in writing, please?
Yes.
What was it again for Sense of Fate? The Eye of Imfin. Ah, yeah.
No.
Well, that was
No?
the blood one, I think.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
that was the
the
blood one.
Violet had Finfin symbol thing.
Yes. I am quoting all of these directly from my notes. Hang on. Yes.
It was the Eye of Egan.
It was the
Yeah.
Asian. E-G-Y-N.
Egan.
We're not entirely sure what happened. We don't really know. And I don't know if we'll ever be able to know the specifics, but it would appear that for whatever reason, these goddesses, from what we can deduce, decided that they would wage a war against the people. And it appears that the people won in the end. There is one more that there is spoken of, unnamed. Forbidden is all we have gotten for them. We do not know what came of them, but we know that they were destroyed by the goddesses, which severely weakened them, and allowed them to be felled by the mortal beings. We do not know much else. These beings are the gods, and each one of them corresponds to something. From what few ancient texts we've managed to decipher and been able to find, we know that they each equate to three things. Vimfin was the goddess of blood, life, and death. Iana was the goddess of the plants, the nature, and the harvest. Hijin was rocks, the stone, and the land. Nature, to some degree, the natural being of the land. Iris was the goddess of war, battles, and victory. Haya was the goddess of the sun, the moon, and the stars. And Yana was the goddess of knowledge, information, and language. We do not know what happened when these gods were felled, but we do know the world was a very different place. There were stars in the sky, not in your pockets. The moon was a single thing, shining like a dull sun, changing in state, as I'm sure you're aware, but not shattered to pieces. The world was but a desert. I believe there was much less water back then. Information was not anywhere near as scattered as it is now. We do not know entirely, but it seems that from what we have pieced together, well, I believe this is actually... It is your theory, is it not? Yes. From what we can tell, it would appear that, having witnessed briefly, and she sort of gestures to a number of the doors, and you're welcome to witness for yourself, these states, these things that these goddesses coincided with, the things they represented were changed, lost, or altered drastically with their demise, from the best we can tell. She sort of shrugs. I don't really know what this means for us, but the disturbing thing is, we don't know what this last god, what he represented, nor do we know what this forbidden god represented.
My guess is being a fucking dick. That's all I've got.
Yes, that would seem about right.
Also, the moon being one whole thing, I don't know. I just don't buy it. To be honest, it's ridiculous.
I'm afraid not. Come. We have a doorway that might help. And she leads you over to one of them. And throws it open, and you see on the other side of the door... the doorway itself appears to be a sheet of like fabric hung over like an archway, stone archway. She sort of unties the thing and thrusts it to one side, and you can see out into this bustling marketplace. In a desert city, one which is players, I'm sure a number of you are familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
You see this endless sea of sands. You see behind you as she leads through, you step out into this these carved sort of sandstone, this huge towering city behind you, appearing to be carved from a single rock. There are camels and merchants with stalls, camel trains coming and going, and there's this bustling city.
Is there a guy selling pomegranates?
Is there a guy with a red cross on his hat and a blue cross on his side?
No.
Oh, shit.
This is essentially actually long before then.
By a dessert?
Yeah, this is what a
This,
desert looks like.
from what we can tell, this whole area is now deep underwater. Though
Like, how deep?
completely covered. She gestures at the city that towers up behind you. That is gone.
Oh.
This
Okay.
we don't know. She sort of clicks her fingers, and as she does so, you see time around you forward briefly. Darts forward, and you see everything happen in like 3 seconds. A day passes, and you're suddenly it's nighttime. You see people packing up their stalls. You see this cloudless sky. 1,000 stars, 3,000 stars dot the sky. A single moon, half of the moon, is in the night sky above. This is what the world was once like. We don't know what happened entirely. We can make our guess.
So wait, did you say the moon was still...
The moon was a single piece.
Oh right, so it wasn't...
Sorry,
still
it
cracked.
half as in like a
Crescent.
crescent moon.
Oh right, okay.
It's approaching midway. You can't tell if it's waxing or waning. We ought not stay long. She heads back towards the doorway where you see the old man holding it open.
This place is weird.
Yes, it is not a good idea to stay in these places for much time. If you wish to, well, you could get stuck. And they're not real, you see. That's why nobody here notices you there, but sort of replaying events that have happened. If you wish to witness, any of the others, feel free.
I walk slowly back through the door, not taking my eyes off the night sky, which is, I imagine, as I've never seen fucking stars before. Other than
Yeah.
It's
the one that
fucking
has
beautiful.
Oh, you have
amazingly-
seen a star before?
No,
One,
not
not like
3,000.
millions
Yeah.
in the night sky.
Yeah.
So I said a star.
Any of the ones with the old machines in them?
Oh, yes, there's this one. He sort of gestures over towards the one I described before that you spoke about, that appears
Yeah.
to be the sort of metallic door with a large wheel-like handle in the middle. And Alyssa heads over to it and starts cranking the wheel round and slowly swings the door open. And you hear the sound coming through of some kind of siren going off, and a voice speaking in a language that do you speak Ancient, or is it just read and write?
I don't know. It's just under my language.
Technically you speak it then. To all of you it sounds like a backwards language that's very hard to understand, It's gibberish, essentially.
We recognize it though, right?
You
The language.
recognize it as the ancient language you've heard before.
Floaty boys.
Everyone,
Yeah, the Floaty Boys used to, I believe.
yes, they did. They shouted at you. Coghammer, you do understand it. Essentially, it's the sound of someone yelling down a microphone, screaming orders. Military style. You see a number of troops in strange, not particularly protective-looking armor run past, each carrying guns similar to ones you've seen before, one that Jack wields at times. You see a number of flying, small mechanical beasts, a pair of discs supported on a single flame on each side, supporting the small body with a single red eye in the centre and a pincer-shaped device underneath float past. You even see a trio of much larger drones, which I don't know if you've seen before out of character.
Don't think so.
I will send you the thing for them.
Yeah, I'm trying to, in the short amount of time I have basically glean as much as I can from any mechanical thing.
It's very hard to really make anything out about them.
Yeah.
I will send you both of these, actually. The first one is the floaty boys, which are the smaller ones. The second one is about 2 meters tall. So about 7 or 8 feet tall. They're quite big. These huge, large, hulking devices that lumber along at a fucking incredible pace. That appear to be sort of... They don't have any visible weapons, but you do see a number of intricate arcane runes along those huge things that stick. They do stick back quite a way, about double its body length. For everyone who's seen... I realise I could just pull these out of here, couldn't I? It's these boys. You've all seen these before.
Ah, yes, the small boys and the PTSD boys.
These things. Yeah, you see them march past. There is a sudden impact as something rocks the side of the train corridor you can see, denting it in. And you see a number of these people in what are essentially overalls run past, waving some kind of wand. And you see damage and even people suddenly going backwards through time, being damaged, like being undone as they run past, furiously trying to recover things, although after a brief while it appears that it only seems to recover them back a certain amount. As you see someone try and heal someone, and you see that they sort of jostle briefly but aren't fully healed after about 3 to 6 seconds, somewhere in that range.
Could I make an investigation into anything mechanical? If it's just even to get the tiniest bit of information.
Yeah, go for it.
The investigation, that's gonna be plus another 4. 19.
19. You recognize a lot of the workings here. You've seen very small fragments of some of these things. You actually would have encountered some of these drones once or twice before, destroyed and not non-functional. So this is quite exciting.
Not overall.
By the way, once I see this big drone, you just see Akane shudder.
Yeah.
Visibly.
But you don't recognize too much. A lot of it's kind of passing by very quickly. It's hard to actually make anything out. But you get a brief idea of maybe how a few pieces would fit together, and you take in as much as you can. You suddenly see everyone around you is just sent flying as there's this pulse. And then there is another pulse, and you see this pulse of blue energy wash down the corridor, and you see everyone sort of stumble for a minute. A group of what appear to be mages in these robes stumble, nearly hitting the floor before standing back upright and attempting to continue on with what they do. Whatever your highest level spell slot is, you just lose 1. It's just gone. It's drawn from you as you just feel this energy. You also sort of feel this suddenly draining of you as it washes over you. As you stumble forward. Akane, you'd be the same. Basically all the casters who are through the threshold.
Wait.
Your height...
What?
Gotta be only done in big today.
What?
If you've stepped through the threshold and you have spells, your highest level spell slot is just one of them is just not permanently, but it's expended essentially. As
okay.
this blue wave that goes over you just draws the energy out. And Coghammer, you hear someone shouting about a shield and how it's powering something, and then you see this huge sword slam into a blade of some kind, slam into the side, cutting through it, as if a giant, like the size of a mountain, had just stabbed a massive, equally sized sword into this train. And you see it begins to sort of slice down towards you, and then you feel yourself pulled and flung back, sort of stumble back through the doorway, almost struggling to keep your balance as it slams shut. Yes, that one does kick you out after a while. You can't be there for very long.
That was fascinating.
That appears to be a battle with one of the gods. We don't know who.
Well, the one we encountered was not as big as this.
No. From what I can tell, I'm guessing here, I'm grasping at nothing, but I assume the one you encountered is still gaining power.
Oh,
That's
joy.
not good.
So, I think we should learn what killed the gods and then use it to kill him, because he does not seem like a good person.
Yes.
I mean, he's already killed a baby. Most places that I know of would make that a death sentence.
Yeah, that's a thing you
I
didn't
know
bring up
that's
before.
the least of our concerns. I know that, but
Actually, I was just going to say it's a thing you didn't bring up before. The problem is...
Oh, yeah, that was the thing.
Yeah, there was like it looked like it was a sacrifice of some kind.
They were weakened. The gods had... From what we've put together, they had to deal with this forbidden one. They destroyed him, sealed him away, from what we can tell. And in doing so, it took a great deal of their power to keep him sealed, and weakened them. If I'm right, he should still be sealed away.
Okay, great.
How
So,
much
let's
do
say
you...
hypothetically,
Yes.
we unseal him, like idiots, and
Yes.
then one god has to do the job of 6.
Well, maybe that would work. How, I don't know if that's perhaps the best idea, but sure. Sorry, this fucking voice makes you yawn. Do you, how do I say this? Do you need, do you know anything of the planes?
No.
There's a couple of them.
Wonderful.
This one makes sleeping a fucking nightmare.
Well, that is true for some people. Actually, I propose something different. Do you know of the plane Polonia? It should be a few below this one. 2 below. It is not far before Tenebris. I believe you're aware of this, are you not, small man?
Which small man is he?
Which
small
small
man?
man?
There's like
There's 2
Sorry,
of them now.
he's definitely talking to Pandal.
yeah, because I'm about to say,
The
I think
smallest
Felix is
man.
like 5 feet something. He's
Pandal's 3'4".
yeah, no,
Magic for inches,
I'm
maybe?
5'3". You're
Yeah.
still you're smaller than even
I'm
Felix.
the smallest, but
Yeah,
I mean,
he's talking to
smaller than even Akane.
He's pointedly talking to Pandal. Like looking at and talking.
yeah, it's like raw dark,
Yes.
right?
Did you know of Polonia? It is in between your world and that one.
Slightly less dark.
Well, there is light, but only if you bring it with you. The thing is, Bolnia is entirely empty. Save for the mortal prison of a single god. The forbidden god has been sealed there. And
Why exactly? Why not kill him?
I don't think you can kill a god.
Oh, the other ones are dead, aren't they?
Maybe.
Well, if not, then where are they imprisoned?
I don't know. I don't think they're imprisoned. I just don't know if they're entirely dead. The thing is, there are strange things, strange coincidences. They have been sighted after their supposed deaths, once or twice here and there. I couldn't tell you much, but...
Oh, I'll get it. They're asleep.
That might be a good way to put it. I don't know if they're truly dead. I don't know if you can truly kill a god. But they were certainly defeated, and that'll do. Will it not? I think we might need to, if you wish to uncover this god. Well, that might be an idea, but I don't know if you can. The problem is... Sorry, the fucking voice. I don't know if we can. I don't know. Maybe we would need them to do it. I'm afraid that despite spending 1,000 years, this is all we've got. This history is very well hidden from us.
Hmm.
And the best I can say is, if they were still alive, they would be connected with those elements. Do we know anywhere or anyone that would be connected with any of those elements? Any of those things that were mentioned?
What, like death and war and stuff?
Yeah, so he's pretty good at war and battle and victory. That's like his thing.
Not that good. He kind of fucked me up, not gonna lie.
I mean, yeah, but he's still cheating because, like, not killable by mortals.
That is fair.
Are vampires mortals?
No, I do not believe so.
We definitely need to go find that bow.
No.
No, Pandal.
Well, if it's not killable by mortals and vampires aren't mortals, then you've got a twist. It's like all the plays that are like, oh, there's a twist.
Let's
No
not.
son of man can kill me, and then it's like, ah.
Let's not.
What about
Yeah, I agree with Felix.
what about anyone who deals greatly with knowledge and information, language perhaps? Would you happen to know any librarians in the mortal
I
coil?
mean, he sort of like dumped us.
I mean, yeah, we know him.
Matthias?
Yeah,
Well,
we know
for
Matthias.
I mean, he wasn't a librarian really, but
They should all be female.
Oh,
But they were
goddesses. Yeah,
goddesses.
that's fair.
oh,
I'd guess they would all be female.
I mean, we know like
hey,
a
I know someone maybe.
Do you? Who?
It's like at the university. I don't know that she looks really powerful. By the way, do I in character?
You don't know that as a character.
She's got a couple
Um,
tails though, doesn't
I
she?
mean,
She's like 4 tails on her.
No, she has one tail, but
Oh, she had one
she
tail.
was shining very brightly when Matthias looked at her with detect magic.
Oh yeah, she's magical. But that's like
I mean, I don't know that she's very
I'm
powerful.
sure you
That's-
also
it's
do
just
that as
something
well.
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
she
have no
was
idea if she's
shining
powerful
way
or not.
brighter than me, than Akane though. Hmm?
Yeah, she did, but you don't know if like what that's about. I don't
Yeah.
think you actually know about that either.
I don't know about that.
So-
Only out of character.
Done
So never mind. I don't say anything.
Sure.
I mean, Matthias is smart, we can ask him. Other than that,
Oh. I'm I'm afraid he doesn't seem to know anyone. I've already
I mean-
questioned him thoroughly.
I may have heard somewhere that you can find anything you want to in a certain plane of existence, which I don't remember the name of because I don't have my notes open.
Is that the one with your fucking sword in it?
Is it
No,
the
it should-
bookstore for?
Are you talking
is it
about the one at the
bookstore for
opposite
Coghammer?
end?
Technoa.
Techno is the opposite end to the one that you're going to. The one with your sword. Ah, Technoa.
Yeah, but it's where you can find an exact location.
That's true. You can
I remember
find...
she did
It,
say-
it was said that you could find anything in Technoa. That is always how it's said.
You can find anything, or if you can't find the specific thing, you can find where to find it.
Yes. It is in Technoa. Yes, it is an infinite city. Unending in scope. You might find what you're looking for there, though the search may take you an eon or two.
I mean, I'm really kind of stumped. I mean, Akane's pretty smart. I don't know if we've got the librarian, maybe.
A librarian?
He's a good druid, and I mean, I know a nice lady who's dead.
You know a nice lady who's dead?
Yeah. She's sort of, as I said, sort of dead though. Bit of an issue there.
Yes.
So,
I assume there's like no one that comes to mind for me, right?
Roll an intelligence check.
you know, all of these people.
But
That
you
is-
just so happen to know a god.
You really have a
That's
thing for
save
rolling
them.
saves when I say check.
Yeah. So it's
It's probably just
9.
automatic.
9.
Yeah, usually.
Okay, Right, yeah, you've not actually got massive intelligence. 9.
Shit, he's a shit wizard.
Have
But
you
he's like,
ever...
really good at other stuff.
You have been to other cities other than Corey, haven't you? You've been to most of them, right? Definitely Vornador. You've probably been to, like, Ovlog, Avril, Milicardi, some of those, maybe?
Yeah.
Up to you,
yeah,
I guess?
I've been traveling, yeah.
Yeah, it would make sense for you to have been to all the major cities.
Yeah.
At least most of them. In that case, you would know that there is... The biggest library that you have heard of is in Milicardi. It's a very large library. It's even by... It's big, probably as big as the one you're currently in, which, by the standards you're used to, is fucking massive.
Well, there's Milikati with the. Well, as far as I know, it's the biggest library around.
Milicardi. Perhaps. Maybe that'll be a start, I couldn't say. Well, I hate to impose this on you, but seeking out these might be useful.
I don't know if it helps at all, but behind the door they were talking about the shield and about power.
A shield, you say? The only large, like... Yes. That is a good point. The only shield that I know of, at least on the scale that the trains used to have, would be in Milicardi. To protect it from the storms of the area. Dampen the arcane flux. Yes. Well, there's certainly one area to check. Although maybe you might find clues elsewhere, I suppose. It is, up to you all. I'm only here to explain things. I don't actually know what's going on. Although I'm sure that a letter here would be delightful to fill me in at some point soon.
Well, there was the weird pulse in there that seemingly drained me a bit.
Yeah, I
Yes.
felt it too.
Yes.
Did it feel at all similar to what was going on in the dungeon?
Very, very slightly in a different way. It drew the power from you. It felt like something that could have been resisted had you known it was coming and were expecting it. You could have like fought back against it. It's just something that caught you unaware.
Yeah.
Also, for the record, you do get that spell slot back, all of you, now that you stepped out.
Nice.
The weird training feeling. There was something similar going on with the last god and his, well, residence, I guess.
Yeah, his flatmate sort of did the same thing, but in a different sort of method.
Well, that's
Tried to do anything, and they were like, nah.
disturbing.
Well, I was having a very difficult time actually creating any magic, but well,
Well, Vilma, I thank you for your time. I think it looks like we will be returning to Korea. At least for now. And I will leave it up to you as to where you wish to go. I suppose I could drop you off elsewhere if there's somewhere else you'd rather be.
I mean, I don't know about the rest, but
No, never mind. No, never mind.
I could
Do you have
bring
an
you to
errand?
Teknoa if you wish.
I prefer to not be in Korea.
I'd like to go to
Very
Techno, to be honest. I need to be there anyway.
you needed
Where's-
not to be in Techno, right? That's on the other side, I thought.
No, this
Yeah,
is
but I
where
can
he'll
find-
find the location.
Yeah, that's...
Um,
If I go to the other place, then I have an entire plane to explore.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I ain't immortal, so
It's-
fuck that shit.
It's the
I,
it's
I
the
have
opposite
9
plan.
intelligence, not 4.
I, I still want to
Yeah.
go to Avril, so I still got.
Wait, no, I don't mind.
Over.
Mine's all right.
No, do
I-
I. Do you
I
happen to
don't
know the
know.
way to Layer 1023? On 3rd Avenue? Is that a place you know?
What?
Posing this question to
To
maybe Alyssa.
Alyssa?
Yes. That's where the little thread is.
Yes. That is not an address I happen to know. Where layer 1020 where?
Oh, apparently here. There's like a shop. Sells string. I need like an awful lot of it.
Oh, you mean the little thread?
Yeah, tell me about it.
I know that one. Yes, it's in the big city. Which the name of which I'm going to have to look up because I fucking forgotten it like an absolute scrub.
You asked. Oh, I think we can let you off.
Oh,
I
yes.
mean, yeah, he's old. No, don't get
Ganth, that's the one, he says, pulling out a book and flipping through it. Yes, Ganth. Puts his book away.
I'm just remember the fact you just have books here. It's weird.
Yes, they're wonderful. Your friend really does seem to like them. I caught him.
Yeah, that's sort of like his thing. He's a bit weird about it.
Yes, he's currently actually in Ganth. Although he'd be a little lower down than that. A few 100 floors below you. Yes, I might know the way there, if you wish to go.
How long is that going to take? Because Akane's right. She does sort of like have a wedding to go to or something, right?
I don't know what it is. It's weird.
He sort of
There's a one, right? I
uh,
don't remember.
Volmer grasps his walking stick about halfway down and begins to hold it up, and you see the top begin to glow, which is actually weird because it just the hue of everything around it changes, but nothing changes in brightness much. Really weird. And you see it begin to sort of glow, and then there's this faint flash, and then it's gone, and there's this portal just appears behind you. About that long. It won't last long. You might want to go now. You see him.
How am I going to get back? Just,
Go. If you will.
okay. I'm going to the
Okay.
portal. I got
go
string
with
to
him.
buy.
Okay, you step through the portal. Alyssa sort of looks. Oh, for the love of. And just steps through after you. Is anyone else
Might
going?
want to come before you get stranded.
I guess we all go after them.
Yeah,
Alyssa
yeah.
also goes.
Look, I've got
Okay.
string to buy. It's quite important.
You step through, and just in time, it poof, closes behind you. And just as it's beginning to close, you think you almost think you can see Volma collapse slightly, as in like leaning on his staff very heavily.
Bless him.
You find
Sorry, I had to disappear for a few minutes there. What did I miss?
Okay.
Law, we have to find people who are associated with what the gods are associated with. They have to be ladies so they can fulfill
Yeah, I
the
got that.
goddesses. And
essentially,
now we're going to buy string.
Pandal's going to the string shop that was mentioned last time you were here.
Yes, because we didn't get a
Okay.
chance to last time. And goddamn, I need to res my wife at some point.
By the way, Volmar is a dragon,
Are you
right?
gonna res her only to find out that she's gonna be one of the people to fit for becoming a goddess?
No.
I could.
Oh, I hope so. That would be so beautiful.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think a nice lady is dead. So that was.
By the way, out of character, that Volmar guy is a dragon, right?
Yeah, he's a light
Yes.
dragon.
Yeah.
I have his
Is
S
he-
in my bag.
Is he in his
Ooh la la.
twilight?
What?
Is he in his twilight? Because he does seem to be like.
No, he's just
Past
old,
ancient.
my dude.
I mean, yeah, dragons reach. I mean, that's
This is
of
light
course
dragons,
going
motherfucker.
from.
This is Yargon stuff.
They're still dragons.
Your
Yeah.
Dragonomicon
Yeah.
3.5 knowledge is really
Yeah,
gonna help
get
me
out,
here.
Yeah,
get out of
I
here
was
with your fucking 3.5 knowledge, for the love of God.
I mean, I assume it's sort of.
Nope,
universe.
not even close. It is a different system. Stop it.
I mean,
It is a different system for a different game. Stop.
Rick, I slightly let you away with it in my game because, like, I can't be bothered making up an entire biology for a race that's already practically extinct.
I mean,
like
I
a
just
real big
Yargon's
thing
weird.
here?
He'll make up
He'll
an
do that
entire
shit.
biology.
He does that shit. He made a whole new set of planes because he was fucking bored one day. You can't trust this man.
Also, this is a light dragon. It doesn't. It's not a like. It's no. It's a different thing. Light dragons and dark dragons. They're very, very different things.
Oh, let's have 11. Oh, I didn't even-
Yeah, this dude is not native to that plane. He is an immigrant, unlike everyone else.
I have scoops.
Rant aside, you find yourself in a city. It's not as dark as you'd expect, being that you can see floors above you. You find yourself on a sort of balcony, sitting out over the side. It is a long ass way down, about, I'd say about 20,000 feet down to the infinite grassy plains that stretch out.
I'm both polymorph into a goldfish.
You see a number of shops and other things on this sort of promenade behind you. You see people walking around of all shapes, sizes, and the odd dragon just lumbering by.
Oh.
It appears to be a market area of some kind, right by the edge. There's no railing, for the record. You could just sort of fall over the edge.
Oh, do I?
Everyone hears a dragon, they can fly. You see behind you a small shop. A number of threads and strings all displayed up in the window. It does say the little thread. And you see that these huge spools of thread and like stretched out sort of over... I don't really know how to describe it. It's like stretched between two wheels with a spool at one end and at the other end to show it off. You see these racks of these sort of displaying the threads that stretch back for a long way. It's not a particularly wide shop, but it's very deep from what you see through the window. And there's a man behind the desk who doesn't appear to be talking to anyone. He's sitting there with his book.
No, just taking the time. I guess I want to try and go in. I'm gonna.
You open the door, and as you do, it sort of creaks slightly, and there's the sound of a ringing bell. As you look up, there's like one of those bells on the door. He sort of looks up and, hello there. How can I help you?
Hello. What's the largest
Hello.
order of unbroken string one can buy, and how much does that cost?
Oh well, I would say it. I suppose we could make to order. How much do you need? I think is a simpler question. I can get you pretty much any length.
I need 10 miles of unbroken bread string and 1 mile of unbroken blue string.
I can cut a few down. We've got that, yes.
How much would that cost?
Who
Someone as humble as me in such a lovely shop.
was as humble as you? Oh, well, for such a small child, I'd say maybe 30 gold for the blue string, but unfortunately, you see, it's a little harder to make strings. It gets longer, so I might have to pump that up to about 1,000 gold for the red string.
You take platinum?
Well, of course. It's basically gold.
That's true. It is basically gold. And you said, I heard like 1,000 gold, and I sort of blacked out.
Yeah.
30 gold for the blue, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna hand over 100 platinum and 30 gold.
Okay. As you sort of put it on desk, and well, that's wonderful. And also disappointing that you don't want to talk about qualities and where it comes from and whatever. You're all very boring.
Oh, I mean, you can entirely tell me about it while you cut it, but I'm sort of
Oh, it's already been done. Don't worry. He sort of heads over towards one of these racks, and you see it sort of the thread spools across it, and eventually the end comes off, and it whips round onto this spool, which appears to be the same size as a regular spool of thread. And he picks it up, and there's another one, it's red, and he picks that one up. Same sort of thing happens. You see these wheels spin furiously, and this thread spools onto the spool, and then the end eventually comes round. It never gets any bigger, and he picks them both up and hands them over to you. Well, there you go. That was a relatively painful exercise. I mean...
Oh, charming, aren't you?
Painless. How can I... Is that all? Is there anything else?
Not unless you want to market me anything. No, I'm actually now fantastic. Thank you so much.
Well, I mean, if you'd want some, you know... Notes down that you've bought these. Well, if you'd like anything, you know, particularly glowing, fancy, ones that are enchanted with magic that makes you invincible to all damage, you know. Anything along those lines, I can get you that done.
I'm imagining invincible to all damage is sort of out of my price range. What are we talking for that? Just a little bit of it.
Oh, I could let it go for about 2 gold pieces.
Just a little bit of it?
We only have a little bit.
2 gold pieces for invincible to all damage string? Is this...
Yes.
Give you 1 gold and 5 silver.
Very well.
And now he starts fucking haggling.
Yeah.
So you give him that?
Yeah, I'll give him 1 gold coin and 5 silver coins.
Okay, he heads over to one of the spools, but walks past them, and you see him takes out a pair of tweezers, reaches down into a small container, pulls out a thread about 2 inches in length, and cuts the very top part off of it. So it's about 1.5 inches long. It holds it out to you. And here you go.
Oh, thank you.
It's invincible to all damage, but it can be cut.
Yes.
Yeah,
How does that work?
are those magic scissors or is it a novelty item? Because I'm happy with my purchase either way, just curious.
Oh no, it doesn't work until it's been like sewed into something. It's used for stitches that don't come loose. It's very
well,
valuable in
exactly.
large quantities, but we don't have it in large quantities because those fuckers bought it out.
Which
If
ones are
you-
the fuckers?
If you'll pardon my French. The ones upstairs. The big thread, yes. Bastards. Stole my name.
Oh, you're getting bowled over by corporations and the higher ups.
Yes.
Yeah, fuck the man, I get it.
Yes. Oh, well, they came down here and they paid a fair price, so, you know, hey, what can I say? I might buy it back from them at some day. Or maybe I'll just raid their shop and kill everybody inside. I've not decided yet.
You know,
Sounds like
if
a
you're doing
good
the
plan.
second one, I want an illusionist on hand who can remember it and then show me later. That sounds like a fun watch.
I can do that, yes.
Oh, okay, if you need to get in contact, sending me, I guess. I don't know. Who are you?
My name's, Not really of concern.
Hello, not really of concern. I'm Pandal. Pleasure's yours.
He sort of grumbles at
I'm
formality.
just gonna grin at him.
He sort of holds a hand out towards you. I do apologise. It's a company policy. I don't run the place. And
Oh, okay, well,
the boss has some very strange rules about flirting with people. But you know what? She was worth it. He sort of winks at you as he says that.
with or without the illusionist, but I do have to go now.
Very well.
Turn around and walk out.
Goodbye, friend. And he goes back over to his book.
What a lad!
Yeah.
What an absolute lad!
So, you head outside of the shop onto the sort of promenade shopping area.
I put the string in the bag of holding, by the way.
I assume
All
so.
bits.
Okay, that's another 2 things off your list. You have 50 platinum pieces, 150 gold pieces of spices and exotic herbs, a snowball with a diamond worth 100 gold pieces in its centre, and a small flame left to go. Getting there.
Getting there.
You also
I'm
have
getting there.
you also have one other thing that I think you might have forgotten about. So,
Is it?
it's
I mean,
more of
that's the
a thing that needs
yeah,
doing.
the tomato soul. I need to
Yes,
do that.
okay.
Yeah, I know. Don't even. I remember. don't
Tomato soul.
worry. Tomato soul.
So,
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
now that we're here, where do you want to go? Where would you like me to...
Everil maybe, if the rest is okay with it.
Where are we?
We're currently still in Garazeth, that's why there's no shadows. We're in...
Just outside the Little Thread. It's a lovely shop.
This is the capital city of Genth. And she kind of gestures upwards. It keeps going upwards infinitely.
So it's a big old tower. Okie dokie.
Yes. I don't
Guess
actually...
that makes sense.
There's a lot of things you probably shouldn't question too much. So... Should we go? Where are we going?
Where are we going?
I guess. I don't know.
Probably, yeah.
Where? Avriel?
Or to the jail, as I hear.
Avriel?
Yeah,
Kind of
Melgarden?
fresh.
City of.
Technoa? Avriel?
Avril or
Avril?
Techno, I don't mind.
Can we like call you later and go like plane hopping? Is that easier?
Maybe. I don't know. I'd say it's up to you.
I guess.
If you want to go to Technoa,
Sure.
I suppose you have that gate I gave you, so you could always get back. If you want to go to...
That's true.
I'm sure there's one in Technoa, but I don't think that's a good idea. Don't try and gate there. If you want to go
No,
to
I'm just
Avriel,
gonna take your word on that one. That's.
we can get you there. If you want to call me later, I'm around.
Just to spell that really, innit?
Mm-hmm. So, Avriel? Gonna get a yes or a no?
Well,
No, no one.
I've made it very clear that that is the plan I am okay with.
Or... Okay.
Sure.
Missing a
we
Felix
should.
and Coghammer confirmation.
I mean, I was like, not Korea.
Yeah.
That's true.
She's she's sort of looking through everyone. You guys
I
respond.
mean, I'd like to go back home to Korea, but I can understand us wanting to go somewhere else.
Okay. Well, in that case, for if you would step onto the circles, and she sort of gestures briefly, and again this shimmering circle appears underneath her, and there's around her 7 other circles appear.
Yeah, step on it.
Have fun.
This is never not gonna get weird. Step on it.
I'm afraid I won't meet you there. Enjoy, and then
Hey!
you find yourself. Somebody roll me percentile.
Oh boy.
You find
Oh,
yourself
sure.
in Avriel.
Oh.
Probably.
Race for percentile.
33.
From Tumchi,
Okay, thank you, Tomchi.
sportscaster.
You're a real cute.
Okay.
Oh, no, play.
Oh god.
There's a bright flash of light, and you find yourselves standing in a town square. There's a number of shocked people look over at you, briefly before going on about their day.
Morning.
So we just appear in the middle of the town square.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I just act like it's nothing.
There's a lot of
Dust off
a
my
lot of
clothes
people
a
sort
little
of a bit shocked at your arrival and then move on. They don't seem to care too much. Around you are carved marble buildings, intricately done, very, very good-looking everythings. And there is a small draconite that sort of flutters away just as you appear.
It's Draconite.
It's like a tiny dragon,
we-
essentially.
Are you Pokemon now?
No, it's
Is it like a pseudo dragon?
it's another word for pseudo dragon.
Oh,
Ah,
You did drink it.
yeah, I was confused.
Cool.
I was like, Draconite, I know that, but only for Pokemon.
Also from Credit Roll. Yes.
I don't
Really?
remember. Roll.
Yes.
Unless it's like the last couple of episodes.
No, it's the first couple of
Wasn't season
episodes.
Oh,
Tibbs' pet.
Oh, that's why I don't remember.
Yeah.
yeah, that was
Tib-
Abe's.
Tibbs' pet thingy.
Oh,
Does
Oh.
actually,
Oh, yeah.
he does actually get used. He does actually come up again way later on down the line. But anyway,
yeah.
spoilers
yeah.
aside. So, as you guys look up, surrounded by an unfamiliar city, this is where we're going to leave it for today. So that happened. So thanks for watching. Catchy links in the description. Click all of them. Ogle at the links.
Patreon.com/AngelDice.
Yes, lick the patrons.
Pick
We,
the bitch.
I don't want to be licked.
no, lick the patrons. Give patron money button. Yeah, that one. I don't know what I'm going with this. Lick the like button.
Please don't lick me.
And if you, especially if you enjoyed, if you want more,
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
then sniff the subscribe button. Also, yeah, no, I don't know where I'm going with this. We'll be back next
You can
week.
hire me, Rick, as a soundboard.
Bye.
Very cheap.
And
Goodbye.
fuck the notification bell.